This guy was the most obviously guilty person.
Dude, yeah.
You know, and he went on the... So him and his lawyer, Joel Brodsky, who's going to come up now is why he's back in the news. At the time that Stacey Peterson was missing, who, by the way, I played PGA golf, Sega golf with when we were kids. I'll get in that in a second.
Sure.
Because that's riveting information. But no, so at the time when she was missing, and he was just going fucking totally double down on this, like... Hey, she ran off. She's a tramp. Whatever.
No,
I mean,
so I didn't really follow this.
Forget how fucking insane it was, and they went on a national media tour to try to convince the country of his.
Yeah,
of his
everyone was
and,
talking about it at the time, and I didn't give a fuck. It was just one of those stories where I was like, it was. I took a cursory glance at it here and there,
Sure.
but I just was not. It was just for whatever reason I didn't care. But I do remember what stuck out to me was his fucking attitude, man. His cockiness and his attitude.
Drew Peterson was a cop, of course.
Yeah, he had that strut of a fucking shitty cop.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He had that like brazen, like fucking. What are you gonna do?
He was a cop.
What are you gonna do? You know,
he was a cop that killed all of his wives, pretty much.
Pretty much.
And he got convicted of his third wife, who was right before Stacey, who he tried to make look like she died in an accidental bathtub drowning.
Yeah,
whatever. So that's why he's in prison now. And he's also in prison. I forgot about this. He's in prison for plotting to kill the prosecutor in that case. So they gave him another 40 years for that. The guy is just, he's fucking a lunatic.
But I mean, look, at one point I got to respect it.
Why not give it a shot?
Yeah, at one point I got to respect it because you're just like, oh, well, you're all in.
So while he's he's in prison for the Kathleen Salvio murder, and so while he's going to trial for that, I wrote this down. Okay, so I want to tell you, he talks to this guy Antonio Smith, who he starts concocting this.
Was he a running back?
Yeah, he played for the Raiders. Yeah. This dude, Antonio Smith, he starts concocting this plot to kill the prosecutor, but the whole time Antonio Smith is just like...
Telling?
Yeah. He's just like, oh, dude, I'm going to get some years off my sentence.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So he goes and just immediately tells everything to the authorities. And
why wouldn't you?
So he's got that going on.
First of all, let me just say this. If you're a dirty cop and then you get put in prison, nobody is fucking happy to see you.
Oh,
because you've been playing both sides and fucking people that are in jail over.
Yeah.
And then also doing the shit, you know what I mean? Doing the worst of it. Murdering your fucking wives.
I didn't look that up, but I would imagine he's in protective custody probably.
But I'm saying he's talking to Antonio Smith. You know what I mean?
So,
like, how the fuck are you... My thing is, where do you... I mean, obviously this dude had a certain delusion going on that he was just untouchable and whatever, but where do you think that you're going to come into prison as a fucking cop that is now convicted of, and then be like, these guys will do what I want.
Right.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna slick talk this career criminal.
Yeah. He'll be on my side for sure.
I know the way things run in here. But no, so he is in prison for all that stuff. Now his lawyer, this guy Joel Brodsky, who we've got a video if we want to get that ready. Just so you can kind of see it, see the guy and hear it in his words. So Joel Brodsky is this dude. Now I have it.
Old Joe Brodsky.
I have it on some high authority here from a contact of ours who may or may not have been on the show at some point, who works in the legal profession here in Chicago. That this guy Joel Brodsky is widely considered to be a clown. And, nobody likes working with him. And if you remember, he was at the center of this national media tour that Drew Peterson went on. The guy is kind of a fucking basket case, So from what I hear from my sources, this guy, all right, this guy's a lunatic, whatever. So now he comes out a few years after this is all over, the trial and everything. Drew Peterson says, okay, look, I want to retrial, he files like a relatively routine motion for a mistrial based on his inadequate representation by Joel Brodsky. So Joel Brodsky finds out about that, takes it personally,
of course,
and goes, you know what? Fuck this. I know where Stacey Peterson is. I know everything that happened and one of the other wives. He killed them all. I'm gonna spill the beans here, whatever. So,
which is insane.
That's about the point where we're at here, and now that's causing a big controversy
in the legal
world because a lot of people are like, hey, this could shake the confidence that clients have in their attorneys, blah, blah, blah. That's one side of it. And, the other side is nobody's really sure if he's committed a crime, I guess. And so I was talking to, again, our legal contact earlier, and he was saying, yeah, it's possible that he's actually committing a crime either way, because he said, so what I was told is, for instance, if you're an attorney and your client walks in the office and says, hey, I did it, here's where the gun is, I guess that's not protected by attorney-client privilege.
I don't. So there's stipulations. Like I believe, like the doctor or like when you're going to a shrink or whatever. There is to a point if you're threatening someone else's safety, your own safety. There's certain limits to that.
So anyway, I
don't know if that's even legal. Yeah, but go on.
This is such a lightly tread area that nobody's sure if it's a crime either way, if he does betray the confidence or doesn't, so it's kind of a confusing thing that they're going to have to think about and shake out and whatever. But at this point, a judge has issued a gag order to Brodsky, so he's not supposed to say anything at this point. Now, Brodsky, this lawyer, he's already indefinitely suspended his legal license. Okay. This guy is a mess. He got caught a couple years back sending all these crazy emails around, calling all kinds of people names, saying all kinds of inappropriate shit in professional circles and stuff.
Okay.
It all came to light.
Wouldn't last a minute in Radioville.
No, he could never be mayor of Radioville. No. By the way, stay tuned to hear more about that. But he was doing all this unethical shit. Some disciplinary committee got a hold of him and suspended his license. So that's kind of why he's like, dude, I'm never going to practice law again. Why don't I just fucking break all the rules?
And then this dude's calling him out, trying to fucking make him look, trying to besmirch him. And so now he's fuck this guy. Yeah. And honestly, think about it. If you were Drew Peterson's lawyer and you had to deal with that asshole all the time, you probably already were like, dude, this guy's such a fucking dick. You know how he probably talked to his lawyer like, hey, I'm fucking paying you good money for, you know what I mean?
Well, and here's the weird thing, too, is like, so another thing this guy earlier told me, and that I think a lot of attorneys would say, I've heard this before, is they don't typically ask, did you do this?
Yeah, they don't want to know.
They gather the facts. They do the best job they can do.
Yeah.
And they probably have a good idea one way or the other, but that's not really something they want. That's what I've always for the most part. That makes sense. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird that he would even have all that information in the first place. But knowing what you know about Drew Peterson,
he probably bragged about it.
You can picture him being like, "Look, all right, here's the deal." And plus he's an old drunk. He's fucking, he's unstable. He's crazy.
But he killed all his wives.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, but I'm talking about the crazy stuff he did.
Yeah,
he's like, get it because the kid. All right.
All right. Should we watch this video?
Yeah, let's just take a look at him and just see in his words.
Let's take a look at what Joel Brodsky has to say.
Now, with apparently little to lose, I was thinking that, maybe it's time.
Brodsky told me he is considering committing the cardinal sin of the legal profession, betraying attorney-client privilege.
I feel bad about what, Drew not taking responsibility and Stacy still being missing, that I'm thinking about maybe revealing what happened to Stacy and where she is. I would never do anything that would hurt a former client, but he's in prison. He's never getting out. So if he was a man, he would say, okay, I'm done. Here's what happened.
He comes across as pretty genuine here to me. I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't seem vindictive.
He looks like a man with pain in his eyes too.
Well, he looks like a man with glaucoma.
Yeah, he could
also.
It could just be that. He could just be really stoned.
I think you're looking at cataract, not pain.
He's eating an edible.
He's high as fuck.
No, but I don't know. So to me, I've always thought. All right, and by the way,
what?
So years back, I'm talking to that same guy I was mentioning earlier who asked me to erase his interview because he has political aspirations.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to him some years back, and we were talking about times when we were kids and we used to play PGA golf on Sega all the time for a couple summers at his house.
Gotcha.
And I was like, hey, whatever happened to that girl Stacy that we used to hang out with all the time? And he goes, you don't know? What? Because that's Stacy Peterson. So I guess we used to hang out. There was a couple of years there, not like we were some kind of close friends or whatever, but there was a couple of years there where she was dating his brother and she was always there. And then,
That's insane.
Yeah, and so
Was
whatever.
she cool?
Yeah, we all had fun. You know,
Nice.
I don't really remember a lot of specifics.
Now, I don't want
like, fucking around,
to
joking
speak ill
around.
of the dead, but you ever kiss her?
No,
You ever hold her hand?
I thought you were gonna say, did you ever flash her a furtive glance?
You ever? Yeah.
It could have happened.
You ever,
I don't.
You ever try and kill her?
I don't furtive glance and tell. No, but yeah.
You ever?
Did you ever try to murder her? Throw
in
her
a
in a
bathtub?
canal?
Yeah.
No, that's what I think.
Hey, Stacy, come look at my barrel.
Yeah. Hey, how many?
Yeah, she never comes over.
They sold me this 50-gallon barrel. How many gallons do you think you are? Can you get in here and see if this is really 50 gallons?
I'm trying to figure it out if I got gypped.
Right, yeah.
Just get in. Come
hey,
on, Stace.
How do we figure out if this thing floats?
We're fucking terrible. No.
But no, so I've always thought she was in the sanitary canal. You know, that would be to me. Now, here's my thinking on it.
Go.
Is that if you were a local cop anywhere near that thing, you would know that the history of that is there's a lot of bodies in there. We're talking about the
That's what I've heard.
the CalSag channel, whatever. It's got a couple different names, whatever. The Illinois Shipping and Sanitary Canal, right? And man, this is another thing I got a little inside info on. Is in Willow Springs. I talked to the guy who he was a cop back in the 80s, and in Willow Springs, Illinois, there was a case where the chief of police was
accused
he was convicted for killing his wife, and he had a bunch of mob ties. It turned out that he had been like a mob guy his whole life, and they had set him up out there, blah blah blah.
Too many cop killing wives.
So I happen to know in periphery the cop that broke that case open. And he told me, I said, hey, I heard a rumor that at the bottom of that canal is like hundreds and hundreds of cars and God knows how many bodies and who knows what else. And he's like, yeah, that's pretty much true. He goes, yeah, we sent a diver down to look for this particular car.
Yeah.
And there were so many that we couldn't even do it. It was like too big of a job to even start, you know? And so that
like where do you start?
So
with
knowing
that,
if you're a cop anywhere in that area and you know all those kind of stories and stuff, it's like, dude, the canal's a pretty safe place to throw a body. So I always figured she'd be in there.
Good information.
You know,
do with it what you will, super spreaders.
Yeah, so that's what I would think. So, anyways, now Stacy Peterson's sister, Kathleen Savio.
Savio.
I always want to say Salvia.
Connie said she dated her friend.
So Kathleen's brother. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is all local stuff. It became a national story, and so a lot of people would see Drew Peterson at local bars and be like, hey. And it even became a thing when he was still out.
Yeah.
And everybody knew he was a murderer.
I remember that.
People would be like, oh, I saw Drew Peterson. I took a shot with him. We took a picture. It was awesome. He was partying. Like, okay. Why?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm so fascinated with murderers, man. It's crazy how
it is weird.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like, you don't really want to get murdered. You don't want people you know to get murdered, but you want to see a murderer for some reason. You know, you want there to be murder.
Or be a murderer.
Or be one, yeah. But people would be all excited to see him and shit. And so anyways, now, okay, so Stacy Peterson's sister and Kathleen's brother are now publicly accusing this guy, Joel Brodsky, of wanting to benefit monetarily from some kind of planned release of this information in a podcast or book or something like that, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a whole
I think
circus.
he said something like that, didn't he?
He had suggested at some point he doesn't know how he wants to release the information.
Yeah.
But also, if you got information like that, that's gold, buddy.
You do it.
And your license is suspended. So you might as well try for one paycheck and coast for a few years off that or something. You know, I don't really blame him if that's the case.
I mean, that's a book that that's a #1 bestseller.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Immediately.
And he it's prolonging the torture of some family members.
Yes.
You know, and stuff like
Look,
that.
ethics are not these guys' strong suits to begin with. Let's just talk about...
How can you put a monetary value on torture, though, too? Because, and now it's easy to say that from one perspective of like, hey, there's no monetary compensation for torture. But also, at a certain level, how much money is worth someone else being tortured? You know what I mean? For me... Like,
well, it depends on how you want me to do it.
$100,000 for someone else to be tortured, that's fine. You know what I mean? Where it's like all he's really doing is prolonging the grief, or you know, whatever. Everybody knows what happened. Come on, it's obvious what happened.
He was at Galloway's before he went in. Hey, what's up, Jerry? Okay. What's up, Darcy? What's up, Tony? What's up, Eric Paddock in the house?
Oh, great. Yeah, so if you guys are just joining us, we're talking about Drew Peterson and his lawyer and blah, blah, blah. We're pretty much done with that,
Yeah,
I think,
we can watch this a little bit more of this video if we want.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
just
go
watch
ahead.
this
Let's see
real
what else
quick.
is going on here.
Let's just see what Mr. Brodsky is saying.
People can have the matter resolved and have closure.
If it's weighing on your conscience,
This
that
is the
much,
sister.
That's the sister,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can see the pain in my eyes, and it kills me every day.
Yeah, that I can.
Give it up.
That's terrible.
Which is crazy because,
that really is like that. No joke. I mean, that's fucked up, man. I can't imagine one of my siblings being murdered by some fuck.
And you think, like, even if you basically knew what happened, it would still, you'd probably just, I guess you'd want, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the closure, I understand that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm much of a closure guy.
No,
I don't know. Yeah,
you like leaving
I'm
things
not
open.
sure.
Huh?
No,
I've
just
noticed with my microwave actually.
Just yeah, sure. That's like my trademark. Just leave everything open, just
Yeah.
cabinets, whatever.
Yes.
That's how you know I've been there. It's like
Yeah,
it's like a little magical.
Oh, there's other ways. There's a swath
yeah.
of destruction. For God's sake.
No more whiskey. Yeah,
Yeah.
Stuff glued to the floor.
Yeah,
you know?
weed all over certain
Yeah,
surfaces.
there'll be a lot of weed. Yeah,
just sprinkled upon things. But anyways, this woman seems genuinely still, beyond upset. Let's just...
Cassandra Kales has spent the last 15 years on a one-woman mission to find her sister Stacy. She's suspicious of Brodsky's motives.
Why do I have to still be the victim here, and my family and her kids, of where my sister is and what happened?
That sentence didn't make sense.
No, that was... Yeah.
I mean, we'll
He's
excuse
gotta
her
be out
because
for
she's
something. Whether
grieving, but
it's money or fame,
it's not exactly
or just to
poet
be in the
laureate.
spotlight.
This one is a real.
All right. I think we've exhausted that video.
Yeah. Should we do this? Man,
What do we do?
I don't know. Well, let's do. Oh yeah. Wait. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. So, Joel
yeah,
Brodsky gets to set the market for torture.
Yeah, we'll open up the phone lines. I don't know if
Did
anybody
work
has.
at Cassandra's house years ago. Cassandra who? Oh, the sister.
Oh, sorry. You're reading comments. I thought you were just.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just reading some comments. But yeah, I would be very interested. That would interest me more than the case did. Is the unveiling of the location of the body, because that would give you an insight, as to. It's just always weird to. I've always thought that, like, if you're convicted, he's not going anywhere. He's never getting out. Why wouldn't you just be like, all right, fuck it. Here's what happened. You know what I mean? I don't understand the.
Well, because that's something in that world that's not done. In fact, that's one of the things I was hearing over and over when I was looking at this.
No, not the attorney. I'm saying Peterson himself.
Oh, okay,
like
okay,
convicted, murderers who know they're never going to be paroled. They're never going to be. Why wouldn't you just be like, all right, you got me?
Well, obviously he was filing a motion.
Yeah, I guess he
for
still
a mistrial,
keep the
so
hope
he's
alive or something in your fucking head. But
he's probably still hoping that
you're never getting
happen,
out.
Yeah,
and
then you tried to kill the prosecutor. That's like
And also, if you did get out, what kind of life are you going to have?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to fucking be like, I'll hire that man on the force?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What are you going to do? Private security? No, nobody's trusting you. You just fucking you murdered everybody.
You'd have to sell oranges by the highway.
Yeah,
something.
I mean, not that that's a bad living.
No, that's
why
a
not?
perfectly respectable thing to do.
Yes.
What do you mean? Way to get ahead in life.
Yeah.